Hello, everybody. Thanks to all who are joining for the Sobriety chat. How is the audio levels for you guys? Good? Thumbs up. Sounds okay. Looks okay on the stream. Maybe I'll turn the music down a little bit. Yeah, should be fine. Have a nice sip of coffee. Cool. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks, Lolly. Thanks for sticking around. So, welcome to the sobriety portion of my stream. As you guys know, at the end of all of my game streams, I like to take time and tell my story and my journey of sobriety. It's also sort of evolving into answering questions about any questions that you have about sobriety, interesting things about sobriety and mental health that I find online, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what to expect in the future of this channel. I found that playing video games is so much fun for me. Playing them in front of anybody is awesome, whether it's one person or 5 or 10 or whatever, or 100. That's really fun, and that's not going to change. But I think what really I'm passionate about in this stream is talking about this stuff and putting my voice out there and making a place for people to come and watch and feel comfortable with this stuff. So, I play video games offline as well as online. So I have enough time to do that, but this is something that I think is unique and good for people and good for me. So we'll continue doing that. For the last couple sessions, I have been going over 10 questions to ask yourself daily in addiction treatment. So the last 6 I have asked were, what did I do to strengthen my recovery today? What problem behaviors did I exhibit today? What could I improve from today? What did I learn about myself today? Did I set or accomplish any goals today? If not, what did I do today that brings me closer to my goals? What is one problem I had today and how did I solve it? And then, so those are the last 6. So I'm going to answer the last 4 because there's 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm not going to answer 3 and leave 1 for the next session. So what is one coping skill that I learned today is the next question. That reminds me. Just give me one moment. I'm just going to update. I don't know why that reminded me of that, but I just have to update my stream details. Stream manager. Yeah, so when you stream, you can update what category your stream will be found in, and I want to make sure that anybody who's looking in a World of Warcraft stream doesn't find this one. Sobriety and mental health talk. Great. Done. Cool. So now that is changed, back to the question. What is one... Done. There we go. What is one coping skill that I learned today? So throughout my entire sobriety time, I have learned various coping skills. And this question is asking, is there a new one that you've learned today? I found the best coping mechanisms for me, get an app, get a sobriety app, because I found that is initially at least, I don't really use it a lot anymore. Now I just kind of check it every month or I don't know, a couple weeks just to see how close I am to hitting that next milestone. At this point in my recovery, I am, we're hitting almost 4 years. Each milestone is only every 100 days. And then after that, it's only every year. So there's not a lot of them anymore, but initially it's every day, and then every week and then every month. So there's a lot to celebrate. And that is such a good coping mechanism to continue to drive, your recovery forward and be able to cope, and it provides daily check-ins and daily inspiration. So every day you're learning, even when you're thinking about drinking, you'll see a notification pop up on your phone and it'll tell you, hey, it's okay. It's not that bad. Just focus on the reasons why you're doing this. So that was a huge coping skill. Another one that I found was talking to people about it and which I still do, being very open about my sobriety, not forcing it on anyone, but definitely telling people how I feel and telling them what my story is and saying, hey, it's okay. Like I was definitely addicted to alcohol and like I'm changed and the more that people know about it, the more comfortable I feel, and I think the more comfortable they feel when they realize that it's not going to affect them in any way. That's who I am. It's good to talk about. So those are two coping skills that I have kept with me for a long time. Other coping skills are healthy habits, close people like a sobriety buddy, or like a recovery person that sort of helps you through the whole thing. Yeah, lots of ways. Another one, what's one problem behavior that I challenged today and how did I challenge it? So this kind of ties in, I've noticed these questions kind of come in pairs. So this kind of ties into like a coping skill. What is one problem that you have that you challenge today? So if one of your problem behaviors is you love to go to a bar, let's say, and like order a beer but not drink it, or you like to go to a bar and watch other people drink, or you like to, if you're trying to get sober and your problem behavior is that you actually go and drink and have one glass of beer and you say that's a coping, that's a problem, like you think that that's helping because you're trying to limit how much you have, but it's actually a problem behavior. So what is something in your recovery that's holding you back? And how did you challenge it? Did you recognize it and try and fix it? Did you make set a list of shorter and longer term goals to fix that problem behavior? Did you talk to someone about it? Did you look in your sobriety app to see if there was any ways to combat that problem behavior? Did you go online? Did you watch a video? So asking yourself that every day is very helpful. Number 9, did I learn about any new triggers for me today? What were they? I actually had someone ask me on one of my streams when I was talking about, I was in sort of like an emotional part of my recovery journey when I was talking about it, and I stopped for a second and took like a big sip of coffee. And she asked me, she was like, "Were you triggered at that moment? Like, did you really, really want to have a drink?" And I thought about it and I was like, no, I don't think so. I think I just got really emotional and really like realized, reliving those memories can be very intense. So to be honest, I think for me, the triggers were a lot different because I worked with alcohol daily. I worked in a nightclub. So it was either going to be the worst way to try and get sober or the best, because I became so every interaction with a guest was a challenge for me to not drink. Every time a regular came to the bar or a friend who was like wanting to give me money to buy him a shot and do one with him, that was all a challenge. And literally, as I mentioned before, I would take shots of alcohol and hold them in my mouth and then spit them into a cup of Coca-Cola or something. And so it really, like for me, I rooted out all of my triggers right away. And like all of those things, I just like stopped and hard capped and was like, I'm done with this. But that's everyone's story is different. So did you learn about any new triggers for you today? Do you find that watching a certain TV show or a certain commercial comes on, or talking to a certain person, or being online at a certain time, or being out at a certain time, being in a specific restaurant, any of that stuff can be a trigger. So learn about that and recognize them and figure out ways to strategize to not get away from them, but recognize them and maybe avoid them until you build up the resilience to challenge them. And once you have that resilience and you're confident in your ability to face them, then go and face them and overcome that, and then that won't be a trigger anymore. And that's sort of those big milestones where I was talking about going to my friend's wedding and being the MC. Could have been a massive mess up for me, but I was confident in myself and I overcame it and I did it. And you just have to look at everything like that. And finally, number 10, what am I grateful for today? So that is something that I still practice every day with meditation, and it's not even something you have to ask yourself once. It should be something that you're constantly trying to find. At least for me, I found that I'm constantly trying to find things that I'm grateful for in life. There's a lot in life that stresses me out. And I've mentioned before that I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself to do well and succeed and do well for my family, for Sarah and my parents, and my brother and all that, and my brothers. I always try and find things to be grateful for every day. Today, it's very simple. I'm grateful because it's my day off. I'm grateful because I get a bit of a break from work so I can work on my stream stuff. Um, all of that. I'm grateful that I'm happy. I'm grateful that I went for a Costco shop. We've been eating out a little bit too much lately, so I'm grateful that I went into a big Costco shop and now we don't have to do that. We can just hunker down at home and eat healthy and save money. I'm grateful, Sarah had a bit of a sore back and she's feeling good. I'm grateful for that. There's so much to be grateful for. And once you start trying to recognize those things and think about it at least once a day, but you'll start picking up things and that'll just put you in a really positive mood all day. And despite the stresses, once you can recognize, when I'm stressed, if I can take a step back and think about some things that I'm grateful for, it really helps. Really, really helps. So those are all the 10 questions. I'll try and make a video about all of those and just going over each one because I think they're important and I think it would be nice to have it all in one place rather than having to hop between these videos. So on that note, this is probably the last portion of my sobriety journey is right now. I have went over everything. I started right when I first started drinking. I moved into moving to Vancouver, starting in the bartending industry. That's when. Could you try again? Oh my God! It was Siri talking to me. That scared the crap out of me. Sorry, my iPad picked up me. I thought I was talking to Siri. Yeah, I went over getting into the bartending industry. I went over how that started to get really bad for me. That's when my alcoholism really kicked off. I went over getting into nightclubs, and when I hit my darkest points, I went over getting out of nightclubs and realizing that I had to make a change, and that's when I started getting sober. My big sober trip to Mexico and moving apartments and changing my entire environment to be sober in. I talked about all that. If you are interested in seeing any of those past episodes, please go to my YouTube channel. It's just HappyDad, and check it out. I have all of my sobriety journey things just condensed into like 20-minute videos, and there's all 7 of them up there. So yeah, if you're interested in checking out the old ones, please check it out. I also have them clipped and saved on my Twitch channel as well. So I my last session, I went and I talked about what life was like trying to date sober, and how difficult that was, trying to find someone who generally who was in the bartending industry just like me, who wanted to date a sober person or wanted to go on a sober date, and how frustratingly difficult that was. And in the age of dating people online and in social media, it was very, very difficult. So I went over that. I went over how I met my fiance through volunteering and really positive activities, and how she really helped me. She sort of saved me when I was at a really low point when my dog got sick and passed away. It was actually 2 years ago. I was looking at my memories on Facebook, and 2 years ago today, he came back from the hospital from all of his surgeries, and then in about a week from now, he passed away. So yeah, so it was right around this time that me and Sarah actually, she sort of like proved to me that she's a compassionate, awesome person, and that was where the interest came from. And so I just wanted to, in the first year of my sobriety, I got sober. In the second year of my sobriety, I got a new career. In the third year of my sobriety, I met the love of my life. And in the fourth year of my sobriety, I mean, there's a lot to be grateful for. I moved apartments. I started this stream, which I think is going to be a really important part of my life moving forward. Obviously, everything comes from small beginnings, but there's so much to be appreciative for, and there's so much that I have that I want to share with everybody. I don't have much more of my story to tell because that's where I'm at now. Me and Sarah started dating. We fell in love. I asked her to marry me in August. We took a trip to Whistler, and I asked her to marry me. I wrote an entire 3-hour Dungeons and Dragons one-shot campaign for her to play on her own, me being the DM, and it was all going through memories of our relationship. and me, her saving the memories from being adjusted by evil D&D monsters, and then at the end, she found the final memory, and I got down on one knee and I asked her to marry me, and it was super. You had you have to be a nerd to appreciate that type of wedding proposal, but she is and I am, and I know it's so special for me to be able to use storytelling as a way to show her how much I care. So just thinking about that gets me emotional. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at. Obviously, the hotel industry is slumping right now, but I'm still working. I'm still hungry to move up, and I'm hungry to get back to the way we were. So, what to look forward to moving forward on this channel? Um, I'm going to start interviewing people who want to share what their experiences have been with sobriety. I've shared mine at length. I think the total. Oh, thanks, Lolly. Um, yeah, I will be posting my D&D proposal eventually. It's just a lot of footage that I had to cut. So I definitely want to release it at the right time. Yeah, thanks. It was awesome. I have a video of it on my Instagram as well. Just a small video of just the proposal, but the full like 3.5 hour ones I don't. So yeah, on this channel, I want to start interviewing people. I want people who have gone through recovery or who are just starting or maybe slipped along the way. I would love to talk to like psychiatrists or people in the mental health industry or anyone who wants to come on and talk about their lived experiences is people who I want to come, because I feel like there's a spot on Twitch for that, where talking about your feelings and being open and honest and stuff isn't something that I have found a ton of. Maybe I need to look harder. But I think there's a great opportunity to share some real positive and make it okay to. You don't always have to live your best life online. You can show all of your scars and all of everything that makes you you, and that is positive. That is living your best life. Whatever struggles you go through, you have to realize that you can get through them. So my first interview, I'm going to hopefully be on Wednesday. I have a good friend of mine by the name of Christina Dargan, and so I helped her with her sobriety journey right off the bat, and she's doing quite well. She's got a very interesting story about her sobriety journey, as it's a lot different than mine. And so yeah, it'll be on Wednesday. I'm also most likely going to drop the amount of sobriety talks I do to once a week. The reason for that is I think it's just oversaturation. I want to sort of spread out and give people time to appreciate each video for what it is. But like releasing 4 videos a week of my sobriety journey, I just think it's too much. It's too much. And so I think at the end of every session, I'm definitely going to still talk about sobriety, but it won't be like a video release. So each interview portion will be about 20 minutes to half an hour, and it'll be at the end of my streaming week. I think it'll be on Wednesdays, but I'm not sure. Well, the initial one will definitely be on Wednesdays. Moving forward, we'll have to see what day of the week it works best for everybody. So that's what's to come. I also, I haven't really announced this, but after my 7th stream, I actually made affiliate status. So the minimum amount of time that you can make affiliate status is actually 7 streams, and we managed to do it in 7 streams. So, I mean, thank you all for the support. It's huge. And I made the decision I want to donate 10% of my whatever I make as affiliate status in Twitch. For those of you who don't know, Twitch affiliate status means you can actually start making a profit off of the stream. People can subscribe to your channel, and then that allows me to make a little bit of money. It's not an insane amount, but it's money. So I'm going to want to donate 10% of that to a charity. There's a charity that I have picked out. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. I want to make sure everything is right, and I don't want people to start subscribing to my channel yet, because I want to make sure that I have all of that lined up. So everything starts off on a positive note, and every person who subscribes to my channel is subscribing to do some good. I don't want to start making money off of my channel yet without having that in place. So that's kind of why I've been holding off on announcing that and moving forward with making my stream affiliate status. I might actually just sign up for the affiliate program but I'm not going to ask people to start subscribing or anything yet. So that's where this channel is headed. A little bit more stretched out in terms of big sobriety content, but I think that's just the way it has to be. Most YouTubers and things like that release videos once a week, and that will line up perfectly with that. The stream will stay the same, a couple hours of video games, and then just a talk about sobriety and people asking questions. So that's where it's going to go. And I think I'll leave the stream off there, but it has been so rewarding from the bottom of my heart to share this journey with you guys and talk about my sobriety. I've never talked about it at detail this much ever to anybody, and the fact that I'm telling it to whoever wants to watch it on the internet is wild. So it's been so cool. And thank you to everybody who watched and sent me nice messages and just supported me and told me how much that it's helping them. And people who have reached out that also want to start their sobriety journeys as well. If you want to come on and talk about your sobriety journey, if you've hit a big milestone, then let me know. I can't wait to move forward with this. And it's really cool. It's an honor to be the person who gets to help people see a positive side of mental health and sobriety and stuff. So thank you guys very much. I will leave the floor open if anyone has any questions. I know it's been pretty quiet in the chat, so Lolly Dom, I appreciate you coming in late on this chat. But if anyone has any questions, let me know. I'll take a sip of coffee and wait if anyone has any questions. Cool. Well, if no one has any questions, that's totally okay. Oh, thanks, Lolly. Yeah. And again, the thing that I have learned about Twitch and YouTube and stuff is to just continue to move forward. Don't get bogged down in the negatives and the fails. Don't get upset that the video could have been better. The one that you should don't wait to release a video. Just continually move forward, continually improve, continually get better and learn as you go, and be supportive and positive, and that's what I'm doing. So and thank you, Lolly Dom, I really appreciate that. Check out my YouTube, check out my Twitch, and follow both if you can. I really appreciate the support. And I will be back tomorrow night playing some Spider-Man, and then we'll be taking a break from my sobriety talks. I'll just be answering. I'll come up with some cool content and answer some questions about sobriety, and then look forward to the first interview, hopefully Wednesday if I can get everything lined up, as well as an affiliate launch party. Thank you guys very much. Be happy. Have a great night.